Dun, 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 dun. Okay?
Oh,
I cue Game of Thrones music.
Okay, let's sit. Yes.
Relax.
Okay, ready guys? It's your debut. Okay. Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm joined with two Singaporean friends.
Singaporean?
Yeah.
Singaporean?
You're like some of the first Singaporean people on my channel.
Aww.
That's what I'm saying, because like everyone asks me, they say you should film with Singaporeans, and now I finally am. I'm surrounded by them every day now. So this is Ali and this is Joyce.
Hi.
We work together. So today we're actually going to be discussing some interesting topics relating to sex and marriage in Singapore. Controversial. So I was planning on making this new series where I actually sit down with Singaporeans and we discuss different kinds of topics. So we can kind of get a British perspective versus a Singaporean perspective on different kinds of topics. So I thought it'd be really interesting. And today's video is going to start off with sex and marriage in Singapore. Oh my god. Okay, so first thing we're going to
Parents, do not watch this.
Yeah. So the first thing we're going to talk about, I wanted to talk to you guys about, was the low birth rate in Singapore. So Singapore is known to have one of the lowest birth rates in the world, right? I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on it and why you think maybe it is.
I don't know, I think we're quite influenced, or like we're quite a modern society.
Yeah.
I mean, like women here, we work and people don't really find it. They want to, I mean, growing up here is expensive, right? Raising a child here is expensive.
Yeah.
Milk powder is expensive.
Yeah.
So you really need to think and plan, like do family planning before you decide to have a kid.
Right.
Yeah, and at most I think for young couples, they would want like 1 to 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the norm
That's
is
the
like
norm.
1 to 2 children.
Yeah.
I think the average
Yeah.
is two
Okay.
kids per household.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it's because the marriage age gets later and later.
Do you think, I was going to ask that, we can talk about that part later, about marriage.
I don't see that there's anything wrong with it, actually.
What, a low birth rate?
I mean, of course, we all know that the effects of low birth rate is that there will be lesser and lesser Singaporeans going to primary schools and more foreigners and what. I mean, it depends on how you look at it, but in a lot of perspective of Singaporeans, it could be quality over quantity as well. They
Quality children.
over quantity because they really want to give the best to like each child.
Yeah. Okay.
And education, everything like Joyce said, requires a lot of planning.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have a lot of kids, we don't have a lot of time other
Okay.
than work. We work.
So you
almost
work
all the time.
a lot, yeah.
Women had two
Stop at two
stop
campaign.
at two campaign in the 1980s.
That did too well.
I think. Okay, in the past, right? Like in the 1980s,
Yeah.
like people having a lot of children.
History
Oh,
lesson.
stop at 2 children.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
ran this like campaign to encourage families to have fewer children.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I think it's too effective.
Okay. I thought what was really interesting was the other month I was on the MRT and I saw ads on the MRT like encouraging people to start families and stuff, which I just found so interesting and quite funny at the same time. Mainly because I think I told you before that my county back home,
County.
my county,
Your county.
my county had at one point had the highest underage pregnancy rate in Europe.
You people wild.
That's insane, right?
You people wild.
Is it
So,
a
like-
contraception issue?
Another thing we discussed was contraception. I know I mentioned to you guys that like birth control back in the UK
Yeah.
was free, and you said that you have to pay
I
for
was
it.
so shocked when I found out that like when
So,
she told me that birth control
Back
is
home,
free.
you can get birth control for free on the NHS, but Ali thought that was really weird.
Yeah, because like over here, I think we all advocate that it's a personal decision.
Right.
It's not something, and we already have a very low birth rate. I doubt the government will like give out free condoms.
Yeah. It's not something they want to encourage.
I think like what we
You
advocate
only see it
is to
in,
make
like, university campus.
make decisions yourself.
Yeah.
To plan birth more than to prevent birth is
Okay.
more important.
Mm-hmm.
For you guys, I guess you guys are at a rate whereby you need to stop.
Yeah, I think we do
Too
need
much.
to stop. We're making too many babies. So another thing I wanted to talk about was that might contribute to the fact that there's a low birth rate is that pornography is banned here and sexual scenes in movies are also censored
Controlled.
in the cinema, which is so weird. Because I remember the first time I watched a movie here and there was a sex scene and it suddenly like zoomed in really weird and I was like, what is going on? Like, why are they so zoomed in on her back? Like, it was just really weird. And they'd like completely cut out the sex scene and censored it so that no one could see. And
Actually,
I just
think
thought
they're
that was
pretty
so
lax
strange.
about it now, though.
Really?
Yeah, recently I've seen more like nudity in the movie.
Yeah. Like
So it's like
NC-16,
exactly.
M18 is like nudity and some sexual
Like butt.
references.
Like,
Yeah.
I
Naked
think it was
butts.
like an 18 movie.
I think the
though.
front is like
Yeah.
no, but the back is
It's
like.
so weird. So what's your thoughts when you like see that in the movies? Do you
the
think
problem
like
is we don't really know when it's cut, right? Unless,
So you
unless
don't
you watch
know-
the original version or you heard about it.
so you've never
you just-
properly seen a sex scene in a movie?
No, I think no.
Unless I like
so
watch an R21
yeah.
film.
So for example,
But so porn is banned here, right?
yeah.
Or
Well,
it's
it's not banned in
restricted.
the UK.
No, it's not banned in the UK.
I mean, it's restricted, but obviously, like people can easily access porn.
So it said
Online,
it's against the law
I
to
think.
keep, distribute, or sell pornographic films in Singapore.
Sell pornographic films. I'm just thinking of those like so in Singapore, right? Sometimes or like in the past, like nowadays you don't really see, but like people, you know those pasar malam. So pasar malam is like a night market,
the
Yeah,
DVDs.
like a pop up
Oh,
kind
okay.
of thing. So they will set up like tables, and then they will sell like illegal porno CDs.
Yeah.
And then after that, like, you know, if the police come, then they will just wrap up in
That's so
in the towel and they run away.
Immediately.
But it's illegal, yes, it's illegal.
No, I think in a lot of other countries I still see it, but Singapore is very controlled because even our night markets here, the pasar malams, it's like in a designated space for a designated period and for a short time.
Do you think that guys here still get access to like find a way to watch
Of
it?
course.
Online, right? It's so easy to access, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just use a foreign VPN.
All right, she's an expert.
How does she know?
So when I was like 15, I had a boyfriend, and he'd be allowed around my house.
Lying around.
He'd be allowed to come around my house.
You'd be lying around.
Language barrier.
Like,
But he'd be allowed to come around my house. I guess in the early days, my mum wouldn't let us go upstairs to my bedroom or whatever, but eventually we would be allowed to, but we'd have to make sure that I kept my bedroom door open.
same.
Would you guys be allowed people around, like boys around at that young an age, or would you not? Because I'll tell you, what happens is that a lot of the time, like I went to Bali this year with my family and Justin, and Ali said, did you and Justin share a room with your family there? I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm 26, like I'm allowed to do that.
but
And you
it-
found it so funny, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I
so
mean-
you wouldn't be allowed to do that on a like a
No,
family
but it will be
holiday?
something that I will test to see first.
Okay.
If my parents are okay, because generally it's just frowned upon to share a room. Especially it's
Right.
so awkward when your parents are there. It's like you could be just in the next room.
Okay.
It will be really weird. Like I know I have a lot of friends whereby like they are still in traditional whereby the girl still sleeps with the mum or the boyfriend still sleeps with the dad, and then the daughter sleeps with the mum. Yeah.
No, that's weird.
Yes. No, but that's because it's so awkward, right? Like
That's
if-
awkward. So there came an age, so I had a boyfriend for a few years, and then when I met Justin, I think I was 20, 21. I kind of told my mum, I was like, I think I'm old enough now to have a boy sleep in my room with me.
I thought you said I enough to have a baby.
So around 2021 is when Justin started staying around, and we shared a room together in my family.
So you actually told your parents.
Yeah, I kind of just said, I think I'm old enough now, I think I'm mature enough. I
How
think
old are you?
about 20, 21.
That's so young.
It's not.
It's
not
okay,
young.
in Singapore it's not even legally an adult. Like we're only an adult when we're 21.
So, sex education wise, in school, sex education in the UK in school is notorious for being really bad, I think. I don't know if it's the same in Singapore, but I remember we had like a lesson, I had to put like a condom on a banana. Yeah.
Wow, but the fact that you even had
Practical
that,
lessons.
like
Yeah, I guess so.
in
But
Singapore?
saying that, it obviously doesn't work that well because everyone's still having sex at such a young age. Loads of people are still having unprotected sex, so there's something still lacking in the sex education department in the UK, from my point of view. But how about you guys? Do you talk about sex in school at all?
I don't think so. I think currently the school is preaching like abstinence.
Really?
Or it has always been preaching abstinence. So they don't teach you like the actual sex.
They don't teach you the sex.
They don't. You learn in
What did you expect?
biology.
Kama Sutra?
You learn in biology, but you know, they teach you. I only remember like puberty lessons. I don't know why.
Right.
Like how to wear a bra, like things like that. But
Okay.
you don't.
They teach you how to wear a bra.
Yeah, because I'm from a girls' school.
That's cute.
So they even had like, you know, after that they had like they invited some sellers to sell bras. What? After that session, I remember.
Commercial
Then we went there to buy-
opportunity. Commercial opportunity.
Yeah.
My school, we had really designated lessons every quarter, I think, or half a year, on like one lesson on sexual education. But it was
what
never
did
like
you
on a
teach?
banana, or like how to. But I find that the part that's lacking is probably, I think the health risk and everything has already been advocated time and time again. Maybe something that we could look at is to look at it in a more whether you really care about the person perspective. So like, you know, if you really care
That's really
about,
sweet. I think that's how the French
yeah.
teach.
So firstly, if you want to have sex, like,
You have to be alert.
you should be
Or you should be-
responsible.
Yeah.
Like I preach to my sisters all the time.
Cute.
That, you know, like I'm like not against premarital sex,
Yeah.
but it has to be responsible, and it has to be someone that really genuinely cares about
Yeah.
you. And if the person does genuinely care about you, then you know he should take precautions, or at least, you know, agree that, you know, you guys are going to take certain risks together. And that's the angle I think that a lot of people should go for.
So I think that's it for the topic of sex, but I think now moving on we can kind of talk about marriage in Singapore, because I think marriage is a really interesting topic here. When I first moved here, I thought that Singaporeans got married at a younger age, but do you think that's getting older, right? People are getting married at an older age now.
I think the average age to get married is around like 28 to 30.
Okay.
Yeah, it's around there.
Yeah, 20 to 30.
At least.
I think
with
that's
my
also the age
friends.
that I'm looking at to get married.
Okay. So when it comes to
To my
relations,
future boyfriend.
when it comes to having a relationship, what are the rules like? Because I know parents here are a lot stricter on maybe having boyfriends and things like that. Can you maybe just like share your like experiences and opinions on it?
Actually, at least for myself,
Yeah.
I think my parents are kind of conditioned.
Okay.
Because in nowadays, I think in modern world, right,
Conditioned.
it's so easy to meet people and date people, but it's really hard to find like a partner for life.
Yeah.
And so then you will end up with like having a lot of relationships, but you know, in the end it doesn't work out. So then parents are more and more conditioned to think that the first person that you bring home is not going to be the person that you're going to get
that's
married
what
to.
I thought.
So they're a lot more like jaded.
Okay.
Like especially for my family when you're 3 girls.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
sooner or later you just get used to seeing like
Sure.
at least a few prospective partners.
Okay.
And then in the end it didn't turn out. But the view I think generally for us is the same, is that it's still frowned upon to live together
Until
before
you're
you
Cohabit.
ROM, or before you
Before you
apply
even
for
get
BTO.
engaged, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I find that more and more parents, but definitely nothing compared to Western,
Yeah.
like in the UK.
So when I moved here, everyone was like, "You live with your boyfriend, but you're not married," and I was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
it actually asked you that.
yeah." All the time they're like, "When are you getting married?" And I was like, "Not anytime soon." But they just find it so strange that we live together and we're not engaged, we're not married. But that is the norm in the UK, at least. Well, for some people, you move out together and then you might get married, but you don't have to get married to move in together. Whereas, so what would your parents think if you said, "Mum, I'm moving out with so and so, but we're not getting married"?
Mom would kill me.
She would kill you.
Yeah, I
That's
think
so
my parents
interesting.
will also be
It's a no.
very, very concerned.
It's a no.
No, but I think it
it's
also,
also a practical problem.
yeah, I think it's also, we are conditioned to think that the person that you try to cohabit with,
Yeah.
try to live with, naturally you will have a lot of attachment. You see the person every day. So it's also like kind of a protective thinking that if you are not going to look to marry the person, you shouldn't stay with the person, because then you become more and more codependent.
Right.
And then, you know, but it's also a good way. I think now my parents also like, before if you really decided, you should BTO first, ROM, and then try to see whether you can live together for like 6 months to a year
Yeah.
before you.
That's what I was going to say. Like, do you not get worried, like, "Oh my God, I'm going to marry this guy, I'm going to live with him, but I don't actually know what it's like to live with him"? Like, it might not be
Yeah, but
what you thought it would be.
I mean, for me it's okay because I mean, okay, I really don't know lah because I'm not married yet.
Yeah.
But the
FYI,
thing
all
is,
3 of us are not married
We're not
yet.
married.
but I guess like it's how you view marriage in general. So if you think that marriage is a commitment by itself, so no matter what, even after you stay together after you get married, you will like make it work because of the fact that
So you think it's like a
Yeah,
chicken and
correct.
egg thing,
Yeah.
right? Like people avoid it thinking that you must be perfectly ready, but only if you're really inside, then you also decide to make it work since you're already in it.
Yeah, I mean, like you have to live with the other person's differences anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be able to tolerate it.
Do you think, say you were like 30 plus and you still hadn't got married, maybe you still hadn't got a boyfriend, would you want to move out independently or would you stay at home?
Scary.
Yeah.
But I would want to move out.
Okay.
Same.
Because I mean, but the problem in Singapore is that you can't, if you're single, right, you can't get a house until you are 35.
This is the issue.
And if not, you have to rent.
It's like a law say that you can't buy a house if you're single unless you're 35. Of course, that applies to public housing, which is HDB. If you buy a condominium or
about 80%
housing,
of the housing in Singapore is.
Yeah.
If not, you have to be married. So there are also a lot of cases whereby couples they agree to get married, then they apply for housing, which is like a built to order house. Here we call it a BTO. And then before they get married, they realize that they can't live with each other. And then they have to forfeit their deposit.
Yeah, which is really expensive. So it's a huge risk you're taking when you decide to get married and decide to buy a house.
It's
so
a
you
huge
really need to plan.
pressure as well.
Yeah, you really need to plan ahead because, like for guys, right, guys in Singapore, like they usually think backwards.
Yeah.
So say if I want to have kids by 30,
Actually, I think a lot of
then they will,
ladies
like,
do that
calculate
also.
backwards.
Because for women, it's not that we have an expiry date. I believe that women, you can have a kid anytime you want, but there is biologically a safer age to lower risk pregnancy to have, and then everything just so everything just revolves around the age, when you should be stable, economically by.
And if you want to get a new house,
financially,
a new HDB, you have to wait like 2 to 3 years.
What do you guys think about me and Justin living together? Do you think it's weird?
No,
Why not?
I guess we're young and modern.
I guess like
They're millennials.
the younger generation are a bit more
Yeah.
open.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
No, I'm
friends who do
totally
anything.
supporting like that you live together first instead of jumping to something and you realize that you can't live with someone.
But
Because the
anyway, do
commitment
you
is
even plan
huge.
to get married?
Maybe not. If we didn't get married, would you judge me then?
No.
Say if I had say if we had kids and we weren't married.
No. I think because of your parents.
My parents. My parents aren't married, FYI. And they're
It's really
still together.
alternative, but
It's very
pretty
different.
cool.
Yeah, it's unusual.
In some traditional parents, you'd be called a bastard.
I am a bastard. So, something I want to talk about was proposals. So, back in the UK, a proposal is seen as something that needs to be completely a surprise to the woman. She wouldn't want to know that she's going to get proposed to. That's the whole element of like a proposal, is the surprise. Like the guy's meant to plan it by himself and propose. But I know here in Singapore, the woman is very involved with the proposal.
No, it's hard.
Sometimes she even knows when she's going to be proposed to, right?
Yeah, it's because it's hard to stick to romantic ideals here because of the whole HDB thing. Because if you get a house together, you have to use both names. So you basically have to get each other's consent. So if you know when you're getting the house and when it will be launched, you can sort of predict when you will be proposed
But
to.
being proposed,
But
but surely if you're planning when you're going to get married, that's fine. But then at least the proposal could be a surprise. Like why does she have to be involved with
No,
the
so
proposal?
basically now when couples, the males
Yeah.
would ask for like to propose with the girl, right? They wouldn't ask like, will you marry me? It's like, will you BTO with me?
Yeah, will you get
Like,
a
will you
house?
apply? Will you get a house with me?
It's so funny.
Yeah, like I think it's a, how do I
It's more
say
like a
It takes the
practical
romance
There's also a
out
lot
of
of couples who use it like a shortcut, They don't propose, they just ask like, will you
Right.
buy a house? Then
Like the
automatically
guy is
like,
easy for the
like
guy.
automatically the girl will have to marry you, right?
But of course they will plan the actual proposal, get down on the knee thing.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
know,
like-
but
I
they
know,
know when
I
it's
know
gonna
of a few
happen.
couples who like the guy is just like, oh, do you want to apply for a house? And she's like, yeah. Then he's like, oh, the proposal is half. It's a half.
God.
Half
it's a bit sad.
success.
It's a bit
It
sad.
is a
It's
little
really
bit sad.
Mm.
I think it's just strange, like for me.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of weird.
So how do you want to be proposed to?
Like I don't know. Like not in public, definitely not.
Justin.
No, not in public, but like I'd 100%
Flash mob.
want it.
1 million balloons in the sky.
No, but I'd 100% want it to be a surprise. Like I wouldn't want to know. Hi guys, it's me from the future. I'm really sorry, but we filmed the outro of this video actually twice, and for some reason it just didn't record, which I'm really gutted about. But luckily we basically finished everything we were talking about, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. This is kind of the first episode in the Singaporeans Uncensored series that I want to start doing. Please comment down below, let me know your thoughts on this. Maybe you can give us your input on sex and marriage in Singapore, but also comment below with different topics that you'd like me to cover in the next kind of series. I think sitting down with Singaporeans and getting their perspective on different topics is really interesting, and I'm excited to film some more. So yeah, be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Do subscribe if you would like to see more in this series, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.
Listen, seeing you got ritualistic, cleansing my soul of addiction for now, 'cause I'm falling apart.